Hey everyone, it's Daphne from Scrap and Create. We're on page 3 for Arctic Antarctic, and this is going to have a top and bottom flap, and I forgot to put some tape on, so we're going to do that real quick. So the bottom flap is 8 1/8, and again, it doesn't have to be 8 1/8. You can make it 8 by 6 1/2. But I was going to try I'm trying something different so that I wouldn't have to trim out all of my 8 by 8 sheets. Somebody had mentioned it to me and I hadn't even thought of it before they asked me the question. So if I wanted to, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess you don't have to. Now, if you do decide to make your pocket pages 8 1/8 by 8 1/8, you're going to need to measure them 8 5/8 by 8 1/8. Score 1/2 inch on the 8 5/8 inch side and put those two together, and that will make an 8 1/8 by 8 1/8. Hey everyone, it's Daphne from Scrap and Create, and I forgot to plug my phone in, so I'm going to plug in the camera real quick so it's jiggling a little bit. I'm having a time of it. I don't know what's going on, but you guys probably just saw page 2 where I got it all put together before I hit the record button, and guess what I did on page 3? I did it again, but this is even an easier page than page 2. It's just 2 flaps. So there's a top flap and a bottom flap. And the top flap is 4 1/2. So it's 4 1/2 by 8 1/8. And you're going to score 1/2 inch on the 4 1/2 inch side. And this is 8 1/8, same width, by 6 1/2. So this one's 6 1/2, this one is 4 1/2. You're going to score 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. You're going to lay down the larger flap first. It's going to go on the inside, and then we're going to place a magnet between the two, and it's going to hold everything together. And I apologize for not recording that. I don't know what my deal is. I think I hit the button, but I had glue on my fingertip, and it just didn't see it. So there we are. So I am going to feature this design on the top or the closed position, and this is from the 8 by 8 collection pack. And so it's gonna be this beautiful little design, and then you're gonna open it up and it's gonna split the image in half. So this is one of the 8 by 8s. I just trimmed it in half, and that's what's gonna go on here. Okay, so I'm gonna start by laying down this one. It's already inked and ready to go. And when I say I split these, I mean I split the 8 inch pack in half. So that's how it's working. Now, of course, it's going to be shy, so I've got a 2 inch strip that's going to go there to cover the gap. And that'll all be clear in just a second. It's really hard to see, I think, the white on white, but I'll be there in a minute. Okay. Again, we're on page 3. Okay, so now I've got this gap here, so I've trimmed out a piece somewhere. Here it is. This is from the 12 by 12 collection pack, and I've trimmed this piece out to go here. So it's going to be color blocked. I'm just going to put a slight seam there, and it's going to go right on top, and I'll make that a little more obvious by putting in a contrast sheet. So there's the top of my flap. I'm going to trim this down so it fits here. There we go. Okay. Okay, that should do it. I'm going to double check. That looks good, so I'm just going to ink the edges and we'll put it in. was away, I straightened up my desk so I could find all my tools. There we go, that's in. Okay, now we're going to add this piece. Burnish that back into place. And it is going to go right here. It looks like I need to trim just a sliver off the top. Yeah, so you can see how the pattern continues. I'm going to need to take a little bit. Okay, I think that'll do it. Okay, so there we go. So there's our top flap and our bottom flap, and now we have to do the inside. And I'm going to use this fur for the inside, and it is from the 12 by 12 collection pack, and I've just trimmed it down to fit. Okay, there we go. That looks nice. Okay, this is from the 12 by 12 collection pack, and it's going to go here on the bottom. And then I'm going to use the same pattern on the top, like so. And both of these need to be trimmed down just a tiny bit. Perfect. looks good. I'm just going to turn this around, and then I'm going to make sure my pattern is actually upside down. Need to get a little more glue under there. There we go. Again, everything on the inside is from the 12 by 12 collection pack. Okay, that looks good. Okay, I have to remember it needs to be upside down since this is upside down. Okay, we'll turn everything right side up. So here it is in the closed position, and then the open position. Okay. This is a little tricky because the handwriting is going this way, but some of the coral's going in all different directions. So pay attention to the handwriting to make sure you get it in the right orientation. And that is the end of page 3.